Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is a quick video and show you how easy it is to make a traditional Parkin cake. Now Parkin is basically from Yorkshire. The one I'm doing today is a bit of a crossover between Yorkshire and Lancashire, and that'll become clear in the recipe and the video that's coming to follow. So I want to show you how to make this. I think it goes well with a cup of tea. Parkin to me always reminds me of bonfire night, and in the UK we're coming up to bonfire night, so that's why I did this recipe. So we'll come back after we've baked it and then we'll have a taste test. Okay, so the ingredients for the Parkin cake, and this is a traditional Yorkshire cross Lancashire Parkin cake because we're using both Black Treacle and golden syrup. So in Yorkshire, they tend more for the Black Treacle, and in Lancashire, they go more for the golden syrup. So we're doing a bit of both, bit of a crossover really. So what we've got here, also, to make it a traditional Parkin, they say use medium oatmeal. So straight away, that's medium oatmeal. And what we need for that is 220 grams of medium oatmeal. We've also got plain flour, so 100 grams of plain flour. I've got some stone ground flour from Lyme Regis when me and Mrs B were there in Dorset. The next bit you're going to look at there is baking powder. So you need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That obviously is for the rise for your plain flour. 2 teaspoons of ginger, ground ginger. 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 200 grams of a Black Treacle, 50 grams of the golden syrup, and then you need 135 grams of unsalted butter, 1 large egg. The milk is 2 tablespoons of milk, whole milk, they say use. I've got actually semi-skimmed here, but it doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. And then the sugar. And so what we've got here is the 130 grams of dark brown sugar. So that's everything. So we've got the oatmeal, the sugar, the milk, the salt, the baking powder, ginger, mixed spice, flour. 1 large egg? Can't remember. Lightly beat that. Then you've got your treacle, and then you've got your syrup. You need to line a brownie tin with some baking paper, something like that. So we've got like one of these tins. It's like a Lurpak tin. One of them. I think they're about 8 by 8 inch square. So let's move on. Okay, so we've got the treacle and the syrup in the pan. We're on a medium heat, and what we've got to do now is add the sugar and the butter, and basically we're going to melt it, but we're not going to boil it. Okay, so now we're just up to the right temperature. It's all melted, sugar's melted, treacle, syrup, butter. Take this off the heat now and let it cool for about 5 minutes. And whilst I'm letting it cool, I'll sort out the dry ingredients. Okay, so whilst that mixture's cooling, we get the dry ingredients. So the flour, the oatmeal, the baking powder, salt, ground ginger, and mixed spice. Just give this a bit of a mix together. So just give this a quick mix. Get the aroma of that mixed spice. And then you've got the aroma of the treacle mixture. And it really does smell like you expect on bonfire night. I always associate Parkin with bonfire night. Okay, so now we're going to pour in the warm mixture of the treacle mixture, I'm going to call it. And we're going to bring it together with the dry mixture, then add that little bit of milk and the egg, which just loose, sort of like easily bring that egg together before you crack it in. Okay, so add the milk. Add the egg. Give it another stir. Remember as well, you should be preheating the oven. We've got an electric fan assisted oven and we're preheating it to 150 or 150. So I'm not too sure what that is converted to gas. But just bring the mixture together. Feels really quite loose, but it is supposed to be like a batter. So don't worry too much. Okay, so you got a really loose batter. Do you like the jug? That's a normal size jug, I've just got really big hands. Okay, so the next step now is to pour this into the cake tin. Okay, here we go. So the batter straight into the pan. And then if you've got a spatula, just use a spatula and get all the batter out of the bowl. So there you go. That's all ready now. So put this in the oven, middle shelf, 150 in the electric fan oven, and that's going to bake for 70 to 80 minutes. And what you want it to be, you want it to feel quite springy but firm, and then we'll come back to the next bit. Okay, so there we go. There's the Parkin. So what we're going to do now, this is sat to cool for about 45 minutes after it's come out of the oven. It ended up baking for 80 minutes, 45 minutes cooling. Going to take it out, we'll get a slice, and then come back and I'll have a taste. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that quick footage of how to bake the Parkin cake. So here it is, a Parkin cake. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. So that's traditional Parkin cake. The oatmeal, it makes it, well, what they say in Yorkshire is to add the oatmeal. And also the Yorkshire Parkin has a lot more of the Black Treacle, and the Lancashire Parkin has the golden syrup. So if you want it lighter, you basically add more golden syrup, reduce the treacle. This one is a mix of both. So this is how I like it. I like them a little bit darker. The aroma is just, if you know what Parkin's like, it's got this treacle, molasses, little bit of spice aroma, and it's just, I really do enjoy Parkin, and I love it with a cup of tea. So I'm going to try this and see what we get. There you go. Parkin. Okay, so let's give it a taste test. So there it is. There's the Parkin. Now, what they say is, for best results, after you've baked it, put it in an airtight container, like this, and then leave it for about 3 days, and then come back to it, and that's supposed to be when it's at its best. So in 3 days' time, in the UK, for me, it's going to be bonfire night, the 5th of November. So I'm really looking forward to that. But for the video, just wanted to show you. This is basically, it's been out of the oven now for about an hour. You can see all the oatmeal's in there. So I'm gonna have a taste. Wow. Ginger, treacle. It's really quite soft at this point. After the 3 days, that's when it'll stiffen up. But that is lovely. I could eat that at this point. The spice is there. It's just bonfire night in a cake. It's absolutely gorgeous, really. The spices are well balanced, everything. And you can see how easy that is to make. I'd really give it a go. The oatmeal is in there and it adds a little bit more texture to the cake, which is really, really good. I'm really pleased with that. So that's the first time I've actually made Parkin and I'm chuffed to bits, I really am. So hopefully, give it a go. If you like Parkin, give it a go. Traditional recipe. Just need to swill it down with a nice cup of tea. Honestly, it's perfect. It's really, really good. Going to enjoy that. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.